Guys up first. You can hear some behind the scenes chatter. What's the matter, Janae?
Nothing. I did hit the thing.
Okay. All right. Can I hear you? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. Ralph Graves Jr. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Today's March 31st. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m. We're on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and we just try to have a good time. My name is Pastor Ralph Graves Jr. I pastor the Cornerstone Community Church in Millville, New Jersey for the last 15 years. But God has allowed me, let me adjust my camera, my computer. God has allowed me to have a program like this. Started off on the radio, decided to come on this platform. That's where most of you are. We're here just to bring you some encouraging words and some encouraging thoughts and some leadership strategies to help you grow. Now, make no mistake about it. I am a believer. That means that Jesus Christ is my personal Savior. That doesn't mean, I hope that you would be interested in learning more about Christ for yourself. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And we're here. We tie in those different biblical principles to what we're talking about. I'm just so glad to be here. And my co-hosts are here. My daughter, Janae, my spiritual daughter, Kyer. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How you guys doing this morning?
Well, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Let me turn up the volume so our IG people can hear us. Instagram, good morning. Good to see you guys on. I've got my other daughters on Instagram Live. How was your weekend, everybody? How was your weekend, Kyer? I know it's Wednesday. I always ask you about the weekend, but that leads me to the question of the day after you tell me about. Do you remember anything significant?
Yes. It was nice because it was nice weather. Ate some Mexican food outside.
How'd that do you? Are you good with Mexican food?
I love it.
Mexican food
it's so good.
I know you love it, but does it love you back?
Yeah. I don't get anything crazy. Just like fajitas, shrimp tacos, stuff I know.
Okay.
Sit well.
Okay. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Veronica. Janae, how was your weekend?
I actually had to pull up my calendar because there's a lot of stuff going on. So I actually have things. So let's see.
Anything memorable?
Does the weekend start on Thursday or Friday?
And anything you care to share with the studio audience?
Okay, let's see.
With the virtual audience.
Let's see. Okay, so on Friday, I picked up my wedding dress.
How about that?
I have it. It's mine now. So that was nice. That was fun.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to you before we jump into the show. My daughter will wear the wedding dress. Good morning, Sister Joyce. More than once.
Oh, yes.
You are liable to attend an event.
Oh, if we ever host anything at our house,
my child will be in her wedding dress.
I'm gonna wear the wedding dress.
It's just the way she is. I don't know why she's that way.
Yeah, for sure. I might wear it to church one day. Just because. And then on the 27th, which was Saturday, I went shopping with my mom. So that was cool. And then F1 came back, and it's been a great weekend.
Very good. Very good. Hey, what's up, Rico? Rico Gaskins is watching on Facebook Live, and I have to say this about Rico and Coach Rico, I call him. Hey, what's up, Aunt Jones? Man, thanks for saying that. Let me talk about Rico real quick. So I was in this dilemma. I'm going to tell you a funny story. My daughter's watching. I have grandsons, and the kids today are different. We played outside all the time growing up, so. I have to pull them outside and just kind of find out what they love, whatever reason. So we're outside and we're playing basketball in front of my house, playing basketball. And I realized they were great. They're phenomenal football players. On the basketball court, they were terrible. I said, no. Not that they might play basketball. I just don't want them to be in the pickup game and get trashed and be the last kids picked. So I was talking to Rico. And he said, Pastor Gray said, listen, we got a skills camp, skills business, whatever you want to call it, and basketball skills. I've been taking my grandsons out there, and they absolutely love it. So hats off to Rico Gaskins with Hustle and Grind. Thank you for that. They absolutely love it, man. And I just want them to maintain a great attitude. And what I found about with Coach Rico and Coach Anthony Farmer, they take the time out with the young men and young ladies and their kids out there. And the first thing they said is this: you see, you don't make mistakes. There's no mistakes here. We're all out here learning. This is where you make the mistakes. And just from the 2 or 3 weeks they've been there, they've been doing a good job, and they love it. So. Thank you, Rico, for reaching out to me and saying, hey, Pastor, bring them through. So thank you for that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Janae, real quick, before we jump into Everybody Communicates, Few Connect, because that's what we're talking about this morning. Janae had an experience with the eye doctor yesterday. That's hilarious. And she's an introvert. She had Kyer and I cracking up before the show started back in the green room. Tell us your intimate day with the eye doctor.
Yes. So I went to the eye doctor yesterday because I don't go to the doctor very often, and I wanted to try to get contacts, and I haven't had contacts since I was in high school. So he had to do a whole thing with my eyes, and I was so glad that we had masks on because I'm pretty sure his face was touching my face. They have to get really close to look at your eye with their little light, and he was face to face with me, and he was just breathing so loudly, and I was really happy that the masks were on because I was cracking up underneath of the mask.
He said he was an older guy too, so they don't know.
Yeah, he was just doing his job, and I'm just sitting there
So you don't know what was touching your face, huh?
I don't know. Something was applying pressure to my mask on my face. I don't know if it was his hand or his cheek because he was so close.
Oh man, love it. Guys, here's the question of the day. Before we jump into Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, want to think about it. We also have the 2 cents today that Kyer will be reading, 6 cents that Kyer will be reading today. The question of the day is, if you had an extra weekend day, that day between Sunday and Monday, how would you use it? How would you use it? If you had an extra weekend day, a day between Sunday and Monday, how would you use it? How would you use it? So that'd be interested to hear. Let's dive in. There's a few things I want to talk about, and we'll get to paying bills and all of that. We've been talking about Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. Communication is just what we're doing now. We're talking. You can communicate, however, but it's the connection that makes a difference in the lives of others. It's the connection that separates leaders from managers, leaders from bosses. I don't want to be a boss. I don't want to be a manager. Be a leader. But it's the connection that separates. And so last week we went over a few things, and I have so much more to go over. But last week we talked about, and I'm just going to tell you some of the topics we talked about last week. Not going to dive fully into them. Do I have those, Janae?
I do, but you should.
Yeah. Do you have them? Review them. I'll put them up on the board for me.
Okay.
So last week we talked about connecting increases your influence in every situation. That's what connecting does. Connecting is about others. We talked about connecting goes beyond words. Last week we also talked about, and this is where we pick up today, connecting always requires energy. Connecting always, and I'm talking about leadership here. Now, if you just want to be a manager, if you just want to be a boss, if you just want to be a parent, or if you just want to be a spouse, go ahead and communicate. But if you really want to connect with your spouse, if you want to really connect with your children, if you want to connect with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or however you get down, I don't know how you get down, but if you want to connect with people, it's going to require energy. It's going to require energy. Connecting requires an initiative. That means go first. That means go first. Take pride in establishing relationships, however large or small. Be the first to say hello. Be the first to help others. Be the first to volunteer time. Remember when we would, remember back when the world would gather together and like you would go to a corporate event or just go to a party or just go to a cookout and you'll see somebody standing by themselves? They are the loneliest person and they're just waiting for someone to speak to them. Take the initiative. Hey, what's going on? I'm so-and-so. Connecting requires energy. It requires initiative. Go first. Leaders, go first. You never know who you're going to connect with. I've been to corporate events. I've been to everything from the Pyramid Club to over in Philadelphia, the Rotary Club, the Union League. I walk in the room. I find another person who's by themselves, walk up to them. Hey, what's going on? My name's Ralph Graves. Whether we connect or become friends or not, it doesn't make a difference. But connect. So most of the time we do connect, but it requires initiative. Connecting requires clarity. Consider the opportunities for connecting, right? Know your own purpose. Learn the purpose of others. Connecting requires patience. Slow down sometimes, you guys, slow down. Sometimes leaders are faced with the choice, work at their pace or the pace of others. The problem with working at your own pace, it means that sometimes you're going to have to work alone. So if I want to connect, sometimes I got to slow down and work at the pace that the others around me are working at. Just some tips. Just try to help y'all connect. All right? Leaders connect. Influencers connect. Those we lead from the front. If nobody's following, if you call yourself a leader, John Maxwell said this. Hey, good morning, Deshauna. If you call yourself a leader and you don't have any followers, you're just walking by yourself. That's it. So if I'm going to connect, it requires some energy. And along with that, it requires stamina. You can't just throw in the towel, okay? So that's connecting always requires energy. Next point, write this down. Connecting is more skill than natural talent. It's more skill than natural talent. It's not just enough to work hard. It's not enough to do a great job. To be successful, to be a leader, you need to learn how to really communicate and connect with others. All right? It's a skill. Learn how to do it. I know we have introverts listening, watching the program, or whether you're on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, or Instagram Live. It's a skill that has to be developed. Connecting is a skill that has to be developed.
As one of those people, I find that like it's like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad that it's not just like a natural talent, because then I'd just be like, well, it's not for me. But skills you have to hone and you got to work on. So I'm like, okay, I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. Hey, good morning to everybody saying good morning to Mary Johnson. Good morning to Shauna Clark. Good morning. Glad to have you guys on there. So yeah, it is a skill. It doesn't happen naturally. It's a skill to walk into a room, or it's a skill to be on a job at a workplace. And especially if you're in charge of a project, or you're trying to, you know what leadership is? Here's leadership, guys. Leadership is nothing but influence. That's all leadership is. Hey, what's up, Mike? Mike, I'm going to call you later on tonight. It's Flash Lewis there. Leadership, hey, Mom, leadership is nothing but influence. That's what leadership is. Do you know you can lead on your job or your workplace without being the boss, without being the supervisor. Leadership is influence. That's all it is. If you connect with the people calling the shots and you have influence, guess who's really leading? The influencers. You're right. You are. Kair is. There are times where I know I don't take the lead. I listen to Kair. She led that moment. You lead. Janae leads in certain moments. I realized that if they influenced my decision, they took the lead. and that's fine. And that's fine, because when there's a goal, when they were trying to achieve some things, Sister Joy Smith is on. She worked very close with us at Cornerstone. In fact, she's my superintendent. I empowered her to take the lead, and it takes so much pressure off of me as a pastor. They inform me. I don't even think they ask me things anymore. I think they inform me. Here's the goal. Here's the vision, Pastor. And then this is what. And fine, but you have to be, when you're leading a group of people, when you are leading an organization, you have to be secure enough in the leaders that you have trained up to allow them to call the shots, to allow them to be the chief influencers in that particular situation. So connecting is more skill than talent. All right. What y'all say about that? What do you say about that, Kair? Kair?
Sorry, I was on mute. I was talking.
Good.
No, I agree. I never really thought of it that way, though.
Yeah.
Like, connecting is more skill than talent.
Yeah.
I mean, I never really looked at it as either. But, like, listening to you, like, it makes sense.
Yeah. Leadership, guys, is nothing but influence. I don't know what else to tell you. Leadership is not titles. Get the title. How many people you know got a title and can't influence a blessed person? Leadership is not the title. Leadership is influence. In order to have influence, guess what? If you want to have major influence in where you are, start connecting with people. Good morning, Dawn Moss. Start connecting. Connectors, everybody communicates, few connect. Everyone communicates, few connect.
That's why, like, now, like, in like the social media age, everyone's an influencer.
They think they are.
Everyone's they influence those around them.
They they think they are. Most folks are not content creators. Most of them are content imitators.
Yeah.
They think they are. You know, you can have 1 million followers, and I see Anthony Jones on here, Flash Lewis. You know, Anthony Jones and I have had extensive conversation. I mentor this young man. You know, you can, and we talk about it all the time. You can have 10,000 followers, 15,000 followers. If that doesn't translate into dollars, it's just monopoly money. You're not really an influencer. You just got people. Social media is about voyeurism, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. Flash Door says this: without connection, most people don't see value in you. You're absolutely right, young man. When you are able to connect with people, they are more inclined to trust you. If they trust you, you have influence with them. Notice he didn't say influence over them. This is not about gaining control over people. It's about having influence with them. And watch this, to jump, he must be in my notes. Stay out of my notes, Mike. Connectors connect on common ground. It lines up just what he said. When you connect, how do I connect with somebody? You connect on common ground. In conversation, you find out her daughter plays soccer. Your daughter used to play soccer. You connect on common ground. Find a place to connect them. You know, in talking, you find out they like baseball. Every time you see, hey, did you see the game last night? Now you're connected on common ground, right? You find out they read the comics. I don't know. You can go right to YouTube and hit Comics Explained, and I'll tell you the background of whatever comic you want to talk about. Connectors make the effort to find common ground. My mentor, John Maxwell, explains this. He says that in order to connect with others in a meaningful way, one must develop a deep interest and understanding of the individual's perceptions and thought process of each individual. As no two people can truly perceive interactions the same way, communicators and connectors should understand that they need to develop a bridge of mutual understanding between themselves and their audience, right? This is how you establish common ground. Write this down, jot this down. I know I'm giving you a lot today, but be available. That's point number one, to establish common ground. Listen. Listen when people are talking. Be present. My son put up a meme on Facebook. I cracked up because he said, you ever start seeing double when somebody's talking? He said, that's where my mind goes. That means that I'm looking at them, but I'm not present. How often do we do that? Listening requires that I'm present. Listen to people. Ask questions. Do you want to steer a conversation? Do you know the person asking questions really controls the flow of the conversation? I'm just trying to give you some stuff here. Ask questions. Ask questions. Great leaders ask the best questions. You want to steer a conversation? Ask great questions, the right questions. Be thoughtful, be open, be likable, show humility, and be adaptable. Be adaptable. I'm talking about connecting with those that you want to be your clients. I'm talking about connecting with those who work with you, alongside you. I'm talking about connecting with those whom you pastor. I'm talking about connecting with your children. I'm talking about connecting with your spouse. Great. Everybody communicates, few connect. I cannot have influence with them if there's not some sort of bridge of connection. Remember, like attracts like. Like attracts like. Whether you like it or not, it's part of it. It's a biblical law. It's a universal law that God put in place. You've heard other people call it the law of attraction. It's real. Guys, listen, if every female you talk to was crazy, they're not crazy. You are. You attract what you are. That's just the bottom line. So be adaptable. Be adaptable. Show humility. Be likable. Be open. Be thoughtful. Ask questions. Listen. Be available. That's how we find the common ground. Pastor Graves, I don't know how to find common ground with them. I don't know what they like. Well, did you listen to them? Did you ask questions? Did you ask good questions? Don't just ask questions. Did you ask good questions? Did you ask questions? Be likable, show humility. Don't be a know-it-all. Even if you know what they're talking about, don't be a know-it-all. You can't build a relationship with everybody in the room when you don't care about anybody in the room. So if I'm connecting and I want to build a relationship, I want more clients. All right. I want more opportunities to speak. I want more opportunities to build my business. I want more opportunities to, bring in the income. Then guess what? I have to care about some people in the room. If you don't care, if you can't build a relationship with everybody in the room if you don't care about anybody in the room. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns. Anybody? Thank you for that, Sister Joyce. She said, "Priest, thank you for that." Anybody on Instagram, just type your questions in. I'll read them. YouTube Live, hit them. I'll read them. Connectors connect on common ground. Flashdoor says this: sometimes look what they have on. Look at what they have on. Some people like to wear their favorite merchandise, sports teams, personal value, luxury clothes. Pay attention is what he's saying. Pay attention.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was like in a jewelry store and I was wearing my Buccaneers hoodie, and the jeweler guy was like, started talking to me about the Buccaneers, I get it, like he was trying to like connect, but yes. I don't watch them. I just like them, so it was hard. because I didn't know what he was talking about because I just have
But
liked them.
that's not the point. The point was he seemed likable after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the Buccaneers. He
Yeah.
seemed likable. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. I like asked him a question. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
I go back there.
Sister Joyce Smith said narcissists cannot connect. She's right. Narcissists cannot. If you're just all into you, you can't connect. You can't connect if it's just all about you all the time. All the time. Hey guys, how we doing with the question of the day? How we doing with the question? The question of the day is, if you had an extra day to the weekend, a day between Sunday and Monday, what would you do with it? What would you do with it? If you had an extra day between Sunday and Monday, Kair, what would you do with it? Don't say sleep.
No.
Okay.
So I think it depends on how my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday went. Because sometimes you have a long weekend and you have an extra day to regroup before Monday, and then some days, like you may want to do something. So it just depends on how the rest of the weekend rolled out.
Okay.
I know what I would do.
Go ahead.
I would do my laundry. I fold it and put it away.
All right. You do your laundry, fold it and put it away. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you guys over there? What would you do at that extra day between Sunday and Monday? What would you do? I'd go fishing or go golfing or something. Aunt Townsend said, prepare for the week. That's great. Good. Very good. Prepare again for the upcoming week. I'm just asking, what would you do with an extra day? Maybe I would use that extra day and do the stuff I should have did on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know. What'd you use that extra day? Guys, we're going to take a quick break. Kair's going to come back with our 6 cents. We're going to finish talking about everyone communicates, but very few connect. I want to talk to you about becoming better connectors, which will lead to more influence, which will lead to you being a better leader. That's what we're talking about today. We have the verse of the day. We have the word of the day. We have the 6 cents of the day. Guys, if you're enjoying this kind of programming, go to ralphgravesjr.com/community. Sign up today. For just $10 a month. You will get training videos, questions, all from me and my team. You'll be able to journal through some things. I think we're 4 or 5 videos up right now. It's all about really growing. We're really growing. We're dealing with the first couple of videos. We dealt with self-image, self-awareness, some other things. We really took a deep dive into that. You get access to my calendar on that, to where if you want to schedule a call to where we can actually talk or do a video chat for a half hour, they'll teach you how to do that on there as well. If you go over to the podcast, Ralph Graves, the Unstoppable Podcast with Ralph Graves Jr. This last guy I talked to, he overcame. I talked to overcomers, and he had some devastating news that he received. And we talked about how he overcame that, and he's still living with that, because we talked about the will. The will has nothing to do with the circumstance, but the will, you're in total control of your will. And he received some devastating news about his own health and how he's working through that. That's my last. But we have so many great episodes on the Unstoppable Podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's wherever you get your, wherever you listen to your podcast. Just type that in. Guys, we'll be right back after these messages.
Revive Hydration is a proud sponsor of the Ralph Graves Morning Show. Revive Hydration is the first IV hydration and vitamin infusion service in the South Jersey area. For more details, please visit their website at www.revivehydration.com, or you can give them a call at 856-485-0070. Again, their website, www.revivehydration.com, or give them a call at 856-485-0070.
Hey everybody, my name is Ralph Graves Jr. I am the author of this book called Unstoppable. Now, what Unstoppable is about is it's 7 universal laws that will transform how you pursue and achieve success. Why don't you pick up your copy today? Go to my website, www.ralphgravesjr.com. Go to Amazon. This book is sold wherever fine books are sold, anywhere in the country. My name is Ralph Graves. Let's be unstoppable together. Hey guys, we're back. We are back. Hey, Tanya Brown, how are you this morning? Thanks for checking us out, Facebook Live, if you're still there. Ralph Graves Jr. Show. All right, 6 cents. Kyra's going to read this incident. We get up, put our little. Go ahead, Kyra. What you got this morning?
Dear 6 Cents crew, I recently took a brief vacation and stayed at the home of my girlfriend's mother. My girlfriend was not there. During my visit, the mother told me that she had recently developed a romantic relationship with a man after the death of her husband of 40 years. She asked me not to tell my girlfriend since she'd be seeing her the following month and didn't want her to hear it secondhand. When my girlfriend returned from her vacation, she was furious at me for not divulging her mother's secret, for forcing her to be surprised by the news, which she didn't like. She accused me of not being on her team. I was stunned at her reaction.
That's it?
Yeah.
You can go first. I love these. I love these things to our team. I think sometimes they forget who they're talking to. But go ahead.
So I don't really know. Like, I get it. I get, like, she's supposed to be on the girlfriend side. Like, you should tell me. But at the same time, she didn't want to put her and the mom in a bad place. Just, pretend like you don't know. I probably would have did the same thing. Like, if someone tells me not to say anything and I say, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I don't really know. But I don't think that is that big of a deal for her to, like, really get mad about. Because that wasn't her place to tell.
Janae, what say you?
It's just weird. The whole situation is weird. It's just a girlfriend. One, it's not even like fiance, but like I'd be like, why did you tell me that? Like as the boyfriend to the mom, I'd be like, why did you tell me? Of course I'm going to tell her. That's like, what do you mean? Don't tell her. Like, why'd you tell me?
All right, so I guess is the letter from a guy or girl? From a guy. Oh, letters from a guy. Okay, all right.
My advice would be don't do it anymore.
Yo, y'all ready for my advice?
Divulge.
So this is my girlfriend. First of all, I ain't staying at my girlfriend's mother's house.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah. First of all, I ain't staying at my girlfriend's mother's house. Secondly, if my girlfriend's mom tells me something like that, I'll just say, hey, listen, go get your mom. Your mom wild now. You need to go talk to your mom.
I'm like calling her like, hey.
Yeah, your mom over here telling me crazy stuff. I'm just saying you need to talk to her. I'm a man. I am a man. I ain't trying to get all this stuff. Talk to your mom. I mean, I get it from both sides. But mom, hey, mom, you didn't have to tell me that. I would tell my girlfriend, you go talk to your mom.
Yeah, like why'd you tell me? Why did I need to know?
Yeah. Funny stuff. Word of the day. We'll jump back into communication. Word of the day. Put it up there, Janae. Here's the word of the day. The reason why we started the word of the day is because my wife has been kicking my tail in Scrabble for 30 years. That's right. For 30 years, I can't seem to beat her in Scrabble. I can beat her sometimes in Rummy 500. But Scrabble, I don't know where she come up with these words. So
She's studying.
That's studying, right? I went and I bought a book from Barnes & Noble called 1,200 Words That Make You Sound Smart. And I just bought the book just so I could compete and I could maybe win a Scrabble game or two. So today's word is, here we go, y'all ready? Non-pareil. Non-pareil. It's an adjective and it means without equal or peer. Non-pareil. Nonpareil. There you have it. Let's jump back into this. Connectors connect on common ground. Now, here are some barriers. Here's some barriers, ladies and gentlemen, to finding common ground. This is a mistake that most people make. This is why they can't find common ground with people. Greg Haven said, isn't that a little chocolate morsel with white sprinkles on it?
That's what I thought of too.
Not according to the dictionary, Greg. It might be. Here's some barriers to finding common ground. Assumption. You already know what others know, feel, and want. Don't you hate when people approach you and try to tell you what you want? That's immediately you create a barrier to the common ground. Second, arrogance, where you have the attitude where you say, I don't need to know what others know, feel, or want. Arrogance will also be a barrier to finding common ground. Indifference. I don't care what others, I don't care to know what others know or feel. Being indifferent. I don't care. All right. That's a barrier. And control. I don't want others to know what I feel, know, or want. These are barriers to connecting. Now, here's some attributes that support some connecting. Pay attention. I said it earlier. Availability, listening, questions, thoughtfulness, openness, likability, humility. That means I will think myself less so I can think of others more. How you doing at that? Adaptability. I will move from my world to theirs. That's a tough one. I will move from my world to theirs. Adaptability. When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you looked at somebody in a conversation and say, let me leave my world for a minute. Let me leave my African American Afrocentric world for 1 second. Let me leave my white American, European, Central, Italian, Irish world for 1 second. Let me leave my Hispanic, whether it be Puerto Rican or Latino, what they call it, Latinx world for 1 minute. Let me leave my Asian world in perspective for 1 minute and move to their world for a second. That's growth. That's connecting. Only real leaders are able to do that. That doesn't make you self-hate. That doesn't make you abandon your pride in being an American or whatever nationality you are. That doesn't make, no. I'm leading, I'm connecting. So let me leave my world for 1 second and let me move from my world to theirs. How about you Christians, right? Sometimes we're so heavenly minded, we ain't no earthly good. You can't lead nobody to Christ because you're sitting in heaven, you got your Bible verses, you hitting people over the head with the Bible. You ain't even talking to the people that Christ would have been on earth talking to. So when this is what real leaders do. You connect. Husbands and wives. Hey, Pop. Hey, Dad. Hey, husband, I run this house. It's my house. For 1 second, can you move from your little world to her world for a second, to their world for 1 second? We're talking about connecting. We're not talking about communicating. Remember, leadership is nothing but influence. That's all leadership is. Leadership is not a title. I don't care what your title is. I'm not the leader of Cornerstone Community Church because pastor's in front of my name. All right, that don't make me the leader. No, it's the godly influence. If I didn't have any influence, I wouldn't be the leader. It's just the bottom line. Again, you call yourself a leader, but if ain't nobody following, you're just walking by yourself. That's all you're doing. You're taking a long walk by yourself. Leadership is nothing but influence. Tanya Brown says we have to love all God's people. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Janae, what's the verse of the day before I move on to my next one?
The verse of the day is this. Connecting isn't always easy or a fast process, but think of the end game and 1 Thessalonians 5:14. And we urge you, brothers and sisters, warn those who are idle and disruptive, encourage the disheartened, help the weak, be patient with everyone. If you're in a place to bring out someone's best, then do it.
There you go. That's connecting. Everybody communicates, very few connect. You see, you think all these principles that all these leadership gurus and even myself, I talk about, we think that these are brand new. No, there's nothing new under the sun. It's all biblically based, whether people want to believe it or not. But moving from communicating to connecting is how God intended it to be. All right. Next thing is connectors do the difficult work of keeping it simple. That's what connectors do. I do the difficult work. You do the difficult work of keeping it simple. That's what connectors do. Simple communication is better. Using a dense vocabulary, even though I give you the word of the day, and overly referring to complicated terms shows the audience what the speaker knows, right? However, the mark of an effective communicator and connector is not what they know, but what your audience comes to know through you. Okay? Maxwell explains that the simple and effective communication enhances a leader's ability to connect. Know your audience, know who you're talking to, and connect with them at the level that they are. Connect with them. Okay? It's work to keep some stuff simple sometimes. People don't know what you know. People don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. People don't care what you know. I'm glad you got all the degrees. Glad you got all the titles. That's great. That's awesome. But the people you're connecting with, they don't care what you know. They want to know if you can effectively communicate and connect with them to help them get the job done or to lead them somewhere to get the needs met. All right. Connectors do the work of keeping it simple. Winston Churchill says this: all great things are simple. Many can be expressed in a single word. Broadly speaking, the short words are the best. The old words, best of all. Keep it simple. Connectors keep it simple. Joyce Smith says, love this. If you're in a place to help them, do it. Do it. We're talking about connecting. Leadership is influence. You cannot influence anyone if you cannot connect with them. You cannot look at the major, look at the products that you buy. You buy the products because somehow they connected with you on some level. Before you even knew if the product worked, they connected with you somehow. That's why you made the purchase. That's why you made the purchase. Because they connected with you somehow. They took the time connecting with you. Look at how Nike and the Jordans and all of that have just overtaken, especially the urban society. Somehow, somewhere along the way, they connected with the urban youth via sports and basketball, whatever the case may be. Nobody cares that Nikes make your feet hurt. I'm older now, you know what I mean? I can't wear Nikes. I often tease my people I pastor, my shoes got to have two names, Cole Haan, stuff like that. I can't, so, but nobody cares. There has to be a connection before you make the purchase and the product. Who are you connecting with? Who are you connecting with? You must have a message that connects, not just communicates, but connects. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody's not your audience. You will find your audience, but you work to keep it simple. You work to connect with them. You work to connect with them. Questions, comments, concerns, ladies, anybody? No? All right, we'll keep rocking and rolling. Guys, if you haven't, pick up my book, Unstoppable. It's still available. It's doing well, too. Thank you. Thank you for those who've purchased it. BarnesandNoble.com, RalphGravesJr.com, Amazon.com. I got a report yesterday that a young man bought it, and he read it in one day. I mean, it's a page turner. It's a page turner. It's about 87, 90 pages, page turner with some questions. And I'm glad that it really influenced his life. And we're taking the relationship further. But I thank you guys who have bought it. Buy it, use it, buy it as a gift, give it to a young person, read it yourself. You get through it in about an hour and a half. You know, you'll get through it. So it's called Unstoppable. And what it's about, it's 7 universal laws that will change the way you pursue and achieve success. We talk about laws like the law of habit, the law of intelligent practice. We talk about the law of reciprocity, the law of expectancy, the law of forgiveness. It's good stuff. It good stuff. Farron says this: how do you keep the connection? Very good question, Farron. You keep the connection by just what I said prior in it, by being available, by listening, by asking the right question. Now, if this is about relationships, you keep the connection by listening, asking questions, thoughtfulness, openness, likability, humility, adaptability. And if I'm doing this and my wife's doing this, it's crazy to see a couple do this. We've been married 30 years because of the ability to do this. Always putting the other first. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but yes, do you make yourself vulnerable? You sure do make yourself vulnerable. But if the other person's doing it, nobody's vulnerable. Now, if it's just a one time and I want my customer to come back, then I maintain that connection with them after I've connected, I'm giving them quality service. I'm there for them. I'm always available. I'm available to them. I'm constantly producing things that add value to their lives. That's how you maintain the connection. When you join the Unstoppable community, it's because we connected. Now it's my job to make sure we maintain that connection. So I'm always putting out quality content. I'm always engaging. If you leave a comment in the Unstoppable community, I will answer your comment. I'm engaging because the purpose of that is that we grow to our fullest potential. So we keep the connection by using the same things we did to establish common ground. That's how we keep the connection. Great question, Farron. Thank you. Joy Smith says that makes myself ask why I'm connected to this thing or these people. Is it a positive connection? Is it a positive connection? Yeah, you got to ask yourself this, guys. Listen, before you can lead anybody else, you got to lead yourself. You got to lead yourself. You got to lead yourself before you lead anybody else. You need to ask yourself, and everybody in your life is a plus or a minus. Everybody in your life, guys, everybody, even your own children, mom and dad, can be a plus or a minus. Children, even your parents, can be a plus or a minus.
Am I a plus or a minus?
Next question. Of course you're a plus, I think there's seasons of that. You were a minus. Yeah, you were a minus when I had to leave Jersey and drive all down to North Carolina for some nonsense.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't trying to put that out there. All right.
Okay. All right.
Look, Kaya ain't said a word, huh, Kaya?
You're crazy.
I was a plus or minus in my parents' lives. And well, at any moment, you're in different seasons. So you want to make sure that you're always a plus. You're always adding value. We want to add value to those around us. My mom says this on YouTube Live. Thanks, Mom, for watching on that YouTube Live. Thank you for watching that. She says, who cares about your extensive vocabulary? All I want to know is that you are caring about me and can talk to me on my level without making me feel that you're not even actively listening to me. I keep telling you, people don't care about what you know. They just need to know that you care. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't go to higher learning. Of course, you go to higher learning to grow yourself, but you never throw that higher learning in the face of other people. You always meet people where they are. All right, keep it simple. Keep it simple. We're cruising right along. I got 10 minutes. All right, here we go. Let me get to this one. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Connectors create an experience that everyone enjoys. Now I'm connecting. I'm going past communicating, guys. I hope this is helping somebody this morning. Greg Caven said, Mom's right. Of course, so many people don't listen. They simply wait for their turn to talk. That's not connecting. Remember, connecting is not only listening, being present in that conversation. Like, how many times have you talked to somebody saying, I wish they hurry up and shut up so I could text so-and-so? You're not present, but connectors are present. Connectors create an experience that everyone enjoys. All right? When effective leaders speak, others not only listen, but they want to listen. Remember that commercial about E.F. Hutton? You got to be of a certain age. You young kids don't remember E.F. Hutton. But I know my mom's on here, Greg Caven, Joyce Smith, Farron Private remembers, Deshauna remembers. Remember that E.F. Hutton commercial? Someone said, I heard E.F. Hutton say, and everybody would stop talking. Because when E.F. Hutton said something, people listened. Effective leaders not only listen, but want to listen, right? They want to listen. This is because connectors understand that they have the ability to make almost any message enjoyable to hear or to participate in, right? That's what a connector does. This persuasive and engaging presence go beyond public speaking. It includes establishing and connecting with the audience as a whole, in addition to each individual member. Here are 7 steps to being interesting. You might say, well, Pastor, I'm not interesting. I'm not interesting. No, you are interesting. You are. Take responsibility for your listeners. Create environments where they can listen and will listen. Make it enjoyable. This is what I'm gonna give you a little public speaking strategy. You want to bore your audience? Give them stats. You want to bore people? Kill them with stats. Kill them with stats. Even in preaching, remember, it's story, then you can give a stat, but then it's story, principle. Every principle that you teach or talk about should be attached to a story. All the time. People love stories. Our minds follow voices that tell stories. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. Jesus Christ spoke in parables. How? Because he created the human mind, and he understands that the human mind follows this principle. It's a point and it's a story to go along with the principle. That makes it a page turner. That makes people want to listen to you. That won't put people to sleep. So you're taking responsibility for your listeners. Communicate in their world. Capture people's attention from the start. Activate your audience. Say something that sticks. I hope that's the kind of program we bring you weekly, something that sticks to you. And I think it does. I mean, a lot of you have joined up for the community, Unstoppable Community. I thank you for that. I'm telling you, I will never let you down, because you will reach your full potential. And you'll have the tools to reach it anyway. Use visuals, tell stories. All right? That's what connectors do. Connectors also, okay, Joyce Smith says this. This is good stuff. I love being a connector. Today I'm learning how to be a better one. Well, thank you for saying that, Sister Joyce. Thank you for that. Connectors inspire people. Inspire people, right? Connectors have the ability to inspire people around them. They have that ability. Followers, or those you have influence with, need to be inspired not only to achieve their personal best, but also to meet your organizational goals. Money does not inspire people to meet organizational goals. I don't care who you are, I don't care who you work for, I don't care how much money you make. All right? Money does not inspire, you to meet the organizational goals. Connectors inspire people. Connectors inspire people to meet the organizational goals. I mean, we've seen it from sports to our own workplaces. Yeah, the union fought for us to get a raise. That don't mean you're working harder. Because you got a raise. You ain't working harder because you got a raise. You ain't meet the goal because you got a raise. You meet the goal because a connector inspired you. So if you're a leader, inspire them. Inspire them. That's how they meet the goal. Parents, you got kids who are in school, you can't tell them, just bring home A's. That's not inspiring to them. Inspire them to bring home great passing grades. And then I'll disinspire them. You're looking at I didn't do well in school. You probably can tell, right? I didn't do well in school, but I found out a whole lot about that. But inspire them to do great things. That's what connectors do. That's what leaders do. Inspire people. Nobody's reaching organizational goals because of money. All right. Money might inspire for a moment. Hey, if we reach this deadline, you get a 10% raise. Okay. Yeah. But then after we reach that deadline, what happens to your work? Right back down. Right back down. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns. I'm going to end that one right there. I could pick up again next week. I got 2 more things to do on connecting with people. And like I said before, I am years ago, right after I retired from the police department, I went down and I became a certified John Maxwell teacher, instructor. And this just happened to be one of the classes that I taught. It was called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And I thought I might want to pass this on to you guys. You guys have been faithful viewers and faithful listeners. Many of you, and I hope more of you, join the Unstoppable community to where you get so much more of this good stuff. Hopefully that you join that to really help you grow. It's a journey that you won't be disappointed. RalphGravesJr.com/community. Go ahead and sign up. Go over to the podcast. I'm telling you, I've been blessed and I've been connected to sit down with some achievers that have overcome some phenomenal things that I'm not sure I could have handled. And they've overcome it and they've done some great things. They are connectors. They inspire people. They inspire me. Go over to the podcast, the Unstoppable podcast with Ralph Graves Jr. Anywhere you listen to the podcast, you'll be able to find it. Follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter. If you want to be a guest on the show, email Kaya. Kaya, tell them your email, please.
k.bertc3e@gmail.com.
k.bertc3e@gmail.com. She'll let you know how to get on the podcast with me. She'll let you know. Go over to the YouTube channel. A lot of the podcasts are posted, the video. You'll see me actually talking to these people. Follow that on YouTube. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I hope that after today, you will be a better connector with your wife, with your children, moms, dad, with your family. That's paramount. And then on the job, and then with the people you lead. I want you to reach your full potential. Now, in order to do that, in order to reach your full potential, you must be connected with your Creator. Yeah, there is a God. The only way we can be connected with Him, I believe the Bible. I believe what Jesus says in John. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come to the Father but by me. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, I urge you to begin one. Here's the beautiful thing. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. I love that word whosoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're involved in right now. I don't care. I don't care what your lifestyle is. I don't care that you I haven't prayed in so long. How could God love me? Let me tell you something. You haven't done anything so wicked that you're outside the reach of God's love. And you're not that good to where you don't need God's love. Listen, trust in Christ on your own. Give your life over to Jesus Christ. Come visit me at Cornerstone Community Church, 911 Church Street, Millville, New Jersey. If you can't get there, you can follow us online there too. All kinds of sermons and stuff are posted. C3ecornerstone.net every Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Boom, live stream. You can become part of that. You can become part of our virtual campus if you haven't come out. My mom says this. She said, while you were in school, God was preparing you for such a time as this. Yes, he was, Mother. And thank you for always encouraging me. Always encouraging. You and Dad did always encourage me. And I believe God prepared me for a time such as this. And so I do believe that. So thank you for saying that, Mom. But guys, listen. Christ is standing there with his arms wide open. My name is Ralph Graves Jr. Thanks for checking out this program. Thanks for following me on all the different platforms. Go to ralphgravesjr.com/community. Join up with the unstoppable community. I'll see you there. Ladies, any final thoughts?
Have a good day.
Make good food choices.
Make good food choices. Thank you for that. Kaya, what did you say?
I just said have a good day.
You guys have an awesome day. Have an awesome week. My name is Ralph Graves. I'll see you next time. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.